Hello, let's take a look at our first seminar in geometry. And in this seminar, what I want you to do is that I want you to apply axioms to draw conclusions, and I want you to identify examples of synthetic and analytic geometry. What we're going to study is the axiomatic system of geometry. And what it is, it's a set of rules or axioms from which theorems can be derived. And we'll talk about what theorems are a little bit later, but for right now, it's just a word. We start with our undefined terms. Undefined terms are exactly what it sounds like. We have a common understanding, but we can't narrow it down as compared to a definition that we cannot apply a property to. Okay, so we have defined terms and we have three undefined terms that we'll talk about in the next lesson. Okay, an axiom, like we said, is a rule. We accept it without knowing why. That when I say without proof, that means without why. A theorem, on the other hand, we're going to explain why, or we're going to discover why that is true. So when we have undefined terms, they're used to write definitions. And then based on our undefined terms and definitions, we're going to get our axioms. And we're going to take all of those and we're going to make theorems. You might be looking at some real-world examples of where we have rules to evaluate the legality of a play, or like in sports, what is, like in football, what is offsides, what's pass interference, things like that. So let's take a look at our first axiomatic problem. In this fictional country of Rioth, blue animals are from the mountains. So notice on this problem, all of these are from the mountains. Okay. And red animals are from the valley. Okay. And then we're going to put these into distinct classes: mammals, birds, and reptiles. Mammals are covered by hair or fur, and birds are covered by feathers, and reptiles are covered by scales. So what we're going to do here is we want to classify each of these. So let's look at the mountains. So I'm looking at a blue one that has a mammal. Well, that would be a Rorex, wouldn't it? R-O-R-X, because it's a mountain. A mountain bird would be a Pax because it has feathers. And then a mountain reptile would be an Awoob. And then in the valley, I'm going to look for a mammal. Well, that would be a club, wouldn't it? Because that has fur. A mountain bird would be a prit. And then a mountain reptile would be a zog. And then what we want to do is we want to write three conclusions about the species of animals. So I can just pick three from my table, and I'll say a Pax is a bird from the mountains. A zog is a reptile from the valley. And we'll say a prit is a bird from the valley. I could do this with all six of them. I only did three of them here. Just make a conclusion based on what we wrote in our table. Now, there are several types of geometry that are built on different sets of postulates, including synthetic and analytic geometry. and we'll talk about synthetic and analytic geometry in the next video.